Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer class for you focused more on our core. It's going to be a very challenging class. We're going to use boxes for props. So go ahead and grab your box. You can just set it off to the side. We won't use it until after our core warm-up. And then we're going to start with your foot bars all the way down, a heavy and a light spring for your core. We're just going to start with a very basic core series. If you want it lighter, you can always just go one heavy spring. If you want it heavier, you can always go one heavy, one medium spring. Again, I have one heavy, one light spring on my reformer today. We're going to lie down, headrest, inner headrest. Again, foot bars are all the way down. And then once we get down, headrest can be up or down, that is up to you. We're gonna come into our neutral spine as always, and then I'm gonna reach behind me and grab my short loops into my hands. Now, once I grab a hold of my short loops, arms are just gonna go straight up to the ceiling. My hands are right over my shoulders, neutral spines, knees go up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. We're gonna start with ab curls. So on an exhale, I'm gonna press my arms down, nod my chin to my chest. I'm curling right up to my bra line, and then I'm inhaling to return back down with control. Again, I'm going to exhale, nod, curl up to my bra line, and then I'm inhaling to return back down. And then every time I curl up, I'm looking right towards my core. I'm keeping that nice little space in between my chin and my chest. Inhale to return back down. Let's go for 3 more. Exhaling as we nod, curl. Inhale, return, keeping the legs zipped together. So we're always working towards that center line. And then last one, exhale, curl. Inhaling as we return, we can relax our feet down. And then if we just want to give ourselves a quick little stretch, we can always sway our knees, hug them, stretch them. Now, we're doing 2 movements for our arms today for our core series. That is it. We're changing up the movement of the arms, but we're still doing our curls. We'll start with the arms back up to the ceiling, right over our shoulders, right over our chest. Knees go up into a tabletop position. Again, legs are zipped together. Keep tension in your straps. We're opening our arms out to a T. They're gonna pause here, and then we're curling up from this T. So I'm gonna press my palms to my hips, nod, curl myself right up into my abdominal curl. My palms should be rotated towards my body. And then as we open the arms, our shoulders and heads go back down. So again, I'm gonna exhale, press, curl up to my bra line. Inhaling as I return back down, keeping the legs zipped together, chin towards the chest, thinking about almost like rolling my spine up 1 vertebrae at a time, rolling it down 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhaling as I nod, curl, reach to those fingers. Inhale, return. We're gonna feel those obliques working a little more with our arms opening out to a T. Still feeling that rectus abdominis, so those 6-pack muscles. Let's go for 2. Inhaling as we open, and then last one, exhale, press, curl. We're gonna pause here. Arms are gonna go up, shoulders, heads go down. We relax our feet, and again, we can just give ourselves a nice little stretch before we change up. Again, the only 2 movements that we're doing will be those last 2 that we did. We're gonna add in some single leg extensions now. So I'm gonna reach my arms straight up to the ceiling, neutral spine, knees go up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. We're gonna start with the right leg. So as we press our arms straight down to our hips, we're gonna nod, curl, reach the right leg out to a challenging level. We're inhaling to return back down with control. I'm gonna exhale, press, curl, extend that left leg. And then inhale, returning back down. And we're gonna keep alternating right and left leg out for our abdominal curls. Now, if the necks are ever an issue, the heads can go down into the headrest, and you can just do the movement of the arms and the legs. Again, if the necks are an issue, press, curl, extend, return. We're gonna go for 3. Holding that neutral spine, curling right to our bra lines. And then last one, exhale, nod, curl, reach. Inhale, return. Relax the feet. Feel free to give yourselves a little stretch Sway the knees, hug them, stretch them. We're staying with single leg extensions, changing up the movement of the arms. We'll start with them up to the ceiling, knees up into our tabletop position, our legs are zipped together, arms are gonna open out to a T. We're gonna pause here, and then as we press our palms to our hips, we're gonna nod, curl, reach that right leg back out. Inhale, open out to your T, shoulders, heads down, press, curl, reach that left leg. Inhale, return again. Exhale, press, curl, extend. Inhale, return. I'm feeling those obliques working for those single legs. The lower we go, the more challenging. Let's do 3 more. Eyes looking towards our core, towards our bra lines. Again, at any moment, if the neck's an issue, head can stay down. When that left leg comes in, we can relax our feet. Feel free to give ourselves a little stretch. Sway your knees, hug them, stretch them. That is up to you. Last 2 things will be both legs extending out and in for our core. So arms are going back up to the ceiling. Our knees go up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. On an exhale, we're gonna press curl ourselves back up. We reach both legs out to a challenging level. We inhale to return back down with control. Again, exhale, press, curl, extend. Inhaling as we return, our abs are drawing in and up as we reach those legs out. Legs stay zipped together, neutral spine. Again, curling right to the bra line. Exhale, curl, reach. Inhale, return. The lower the legs, the more challenging for your core, but also more challenging for your backs. So if you do feel your low back starting to work, legs go higher up. This is the last one. Press, curl, extend, return. We can relax our feet. And then again, we can just give ourselves a little stretch. We can sway our knees, hug them, stretch them. Again, last thing will be the changing of the arms, still extending both legs out. So arms go up to the ceiling to start. Knees go up into our tabletop position. Legs are zipped together. We open our arms out to a T. Pause here. On an exhale, as I press my palms to my hips, I'm gonna nod, curl, extend both legs back out. Inhaling as we return back down. Exhale, press, curl, extend, legs are zipped together. Inhale, return, drawing the abs in and up as we reach out. Exhaling as we reach away. Inhale back. Again, abs are drawing in and up. Let's do 3 more. 2. And then last one, press, curl, extend. We'll pause at the top. Arms are gonna go up, shoulders, heads go down. Relax the feet. And then just give ourselves a little stretch. Now, before we get rid of our straps, we're just gonna finish off with some arm circles. Heads can just stay down, knees can stay in tabletop. I'm gonna extend my arms back up to the ceiling. Knees are gonna go right back up into a tabletop position. Legs are zipped together. We're pressing the arms down to the mats. We're opening them out to the sides, the circle around and back up. We exhale to pull. We inhale to circle around and back up. Our sacrum is heavy. Pelvis just stays nice and still. Abs are drawing in and up on every single exhale. Down, around, and up. We'll go for just 2 more circles in this direction. And then last one. Now I'm gonna bring my arms all the way down to my hips, pause at my hips, and then we're gonna reverse. We go up to our shoulders, out to a T. We exhale to press our palms back down to our hips. So again, we're going inhale up, out, and then exhaling as we press, drawing the abs in and up on those exhales. Movement coming right from those shoulders. Let's do 3, 2, and then last one. Now, once we come back up with the arms, we're gonna relax our feet back down out in front of us. We're hanging our straps up onto the pegs. And then once we hang our straps up, we're gonna sit off to the sides. Now, we're going just to 1 heavy spring. So I'm taking off my light. Foot bars are gonna go up to the starting position. Again, 1 heavy spring. Now, we are gonna start with some glute work. It's not going to feel that heavy with This red spring, I don't want it heavy technically for your glutes. It's just like our warm-up slash cool down. More work in our abs when we go a little lighter. We're gonna grab our box. Our short box is gonna go on right in front of our shoulder blocks. It does not have to go over. I actually prefer it to be in front of your shoulder blocks so you don't push it off with your arms. Again, one heavy spring, foot bar starting position. We're gonna kneel on our carriages facing our box. When we kneel, forearms are gonna go down onto the box, and then I'm gonna scoop my knees back to the edge of my carriage. My left toes, balls of my feet are gonna go onto the foot bar. So toes, balls of your feet, right knee stays down on the carriage. We are going to exhale, push our carriages out with our left leg, and then we're gonna bend to come back in. So right knee just stays down. I'm gonna push out with my left leg, bend to come back in, exhale as I push, and then inhale back in. Now, as I go out and in, I'm pushing down into my forearms. I'm drawing my abs in to my back, and then I'm reaching my heel towards my glute every time I push out so that I can get my glute max to fire up a little more. Again, it's not too heavy for the legs. Our focus is more on the core today. Let's go for 2. And in, and then last one, and in. Okay, now once you come back in, we're gonna pause in. Just a heads up, we're gonna do about 8 of everything from now on. So if you are somebody who likes to count, feel free to do 8 of everything. Otherwise, you can just stick with my count. We're gonna go forearms down onto the box. And just a heads up, Pilates instructors are not known for counting. So you can stick to mine or you can count yourselves. We're gonna go left toes, balls of your feet still onto the foot bar. We're gonna push the carriage out one time with your left leg. You are going to pause. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, push into my forearms, scoop into my abs, and I'm gonna lift my right knee off of the carriage. I'm gonna set the knee down, and then we're gonna bend to come back in. So that's our movement. We're gonna push the carriage out, tuck, lift the right knee, set it back down, and then back in. Now the idea is that when you lift to come up with the knee, your carriage does not move. It's like a mini pike. You're gonna tuck, lift, set it down, come back in. We can push out, tuck, lift, set it down, and in. We have 3 more. Again, like a mini pike. Good. For 2, my pelvis is staying parallel to the floor. And then this is the last one. Out, mini pike, set it down, and in. Now, the next time we push out, we're gonna keep our left leg out. We're gonna do 8 of those mini pikes without bringing our carriages in. So forearms are down, left toes are still on your foot bar. We push out with the left leg. You're gonna push into your forearms. Scoop, lift your right knee, set it down. Scoop, lift the knee, set it down. It's an exhale up and an inhale down. Scoop, lift, set it down. You should really feel your shoulders here. 3, use your abs. 2, last one, and then back in. Hey, now at any point, you guys, if that's too much for the shoulders, you can always go to a lighter spring, so like one medium spring. If that feels too heavy, you're going to feel your shoulders no matter what, but if it's too heavy, go to a lighter spring. Now, we're staying here for one more thing. Forearms stay down onto the box. We're gonna push the left leg back out one time. We're gonna hold here. Now push into your forearms, scoop into your abs, lift your right knee, hold. Inhale, reach your right leg over the foot bar. Exhale, pull it into the box. Inhale over the foot bar. Exhale, pull into the box. Inhale out. Exhale in. The carriage doesn't move. Inhale and exhale. Your pelvis stays parallel to the floor. We have 2. In, last one out, in, set the knee down, bring that carriage all the way back in. Feel free to give your shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then we are going to stay on this left leg. When we stay on the left leg, we are going to rotate to the left side of the room. Our right forearm is gonna stay on the box. Our left foot goes back onto the foot bar. I would go toes more towards the edge of the foot bar here. Left hand is on the box. We are exhaling to push out with the left leg again. Inhale back, exhale push. inhale back. Again, this is more of like our cool down period. And then after these, we're gonna keep going into some core work. Push, resist, a little more obliques on this next series. We're gonna push out for 3. I'm still squeezing my glute for 2. And then last one, exhale away and inhale back. Now we're gonna add in our right leg again. So make sure you got your forearm in a good spot to push. You're gonna push the left leg out, pause. Now from here, I'm gonna push into my left palm and my right forearm. I'm gonna lift my right leg up. It's gonna be bent to the 90, parallel to the floor. I'm gonna set the knee down. My toes are like towards my springs, my foot bar, and I'm gonna bend to come back in. That's our movement. We push out. We lift the leg, it's parallel to the floor. We set it down, we bring it back. Now when we lift the leg, it's not rotating the pelvis, we're just lifting the knee up and down. The pelvis should be staying in the same spot the entire time. Again, we're getting right into our obliques. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can always just do a little lift of the knee, set it down and come in. This is the last one. Out, lift, lower, back. Now, the next time we push out, we have to hold ourselves out. We lift the right leg, we lower, we lift, we lower without bringing our carriage in. Again, if that lift doesn't work, barely lift the knee up, set it down, barely lift the knee up, set it down. We're gonna push out, pause. Ready? We go up and down. 7 more. Lift, lower. I'm just tapping my carriage. Up and down for 4. Push into that forearm. 3, 2, 1, and back in. Now, once we come back in, we're pausing in. We're gonna press back out, lift that right leg back up. Reach it out in front of you. It's gonna lower down to the floor and lift up 8 times. Again, if this doesn't work, I want you to do a little lift of your right knee, set it down, little lift of the right knee, set it down. Push the carriage out, push into your forearm. Ready, lift that right leg, extend. We lower for 8, we lift. 7, lift, inhale, lower, lift, down, up for 4, 3. Use those obliques, push into that forearm. Last one. Bend, return, and come back in. Okay, again, feel free to give your shoulders a little roll. If that is too much weight for your shoulders, you can always make those springs lighter. We're gonna do the same thing now on the right side. So we're kneeling on our carriage, we're facing the box. Our forearms go down onto the box. My knees are gonna go to the edge of my carriage. Right toes, balls, my feet go onto the foot bar. Toes, balls of your feet. We exhale to push out. With the right leg, we bend to come back in. Exhale away, inhale back. Eyes are looking to the floor, shoulders, hips are parallel to the floor. I'm squeezing my butt every time I push out, reaching my heel to my glute. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, push, inhale back for 2, and then last one. Okay, now once we come back in, we're gonna pause back in. We add in that little lift of the left knee, we lower. The idea is like it's a mini pike and your carriage does not move. So I'm gonna push out, push into my forearms. Tuck, scoop, lift the left leg, set it down, bend to come back in. Press, tuck, lift, set it down and in. Again, if you're somebody who likes to count, we're doing 8 of everything. If you just want to stick with me, I am technically counting 2. Press out, scoop, lift, set it down, come in. We have 3, scoop to lift. Again, it's like a miniature pike. Out, scoop, down, and in. Last one, push out, scoop, lift, down, and in. Okay, feel free to give yourselves a little break. The next time we push out, again, this is a lot for shoulders, so if you need to make it lighter, make it lighter. You're gonna stay out, lift, and lower that left leg. The knee 8 times. The carriage does not move. Right toes, balls of your feet are on. Again, Really push into your forearms. You're gonna push out with that right leg. Hold, squeeze your glute. Lift the left, set it down, lift, lower, scoop, and lift for 5. Draw your abs in. 4, 2, 1, and come back in. Okay, last thing that we're doing here, we're adding in that leg extending out and pulling back to the box. Again, the carriage does not move. We push out with our right leg, we hold, we squeeze our glute, we push into our forearms. We lift the left leg up one time, we hold, we reach it over the foot bar, we exhale to pull it in. Inhale out, exhale in, abs are in. Use your left obliques to pull the knee to the box. 4, 3, 2, 1, and back. Whew, okay. Again, if you need to give your shoulders a little roll, give your shoulders a little roll. We're staying on the right leg. So left forearm goes down onto the box. We rotate to the right side of the room. I'm gonna take my right foot back onto the foot bar. My foot is towards the front. My foot is parallel. So toes and heel should be on. We're gonna go out and in. Think about this portion like a little bit of a cool down, trying to get your heart rate down before we go back into our obliques. Exhale away, inhale back. Left forearm is down, right palm is just down onto the box. We have 3 more. I'm still squeezing my glute. And then last one, we push out and we resist in. Okay, now we add in the lift of that left leg. If that doesn't work for you, you're doing a little lift. So ready, we push out. We're gonna keep the left leg bent at a 90. We lift it up, it's parallel to the floor. We set it down. When we set it down, the toe should be pointed towards your foot bar, and then we bend to come back in. We push out. We lift the leg, it's parallel. We set it down, we bend to come back in. Again, when we lift and when we lower, your pelvis is staying in the same spot. You just lift the leg, set it down, bend to come back in. Your hips do not rotate with this leg. We're gonna go for 3, lift, lower, in for 2. Try to get it parallel to the floor if you can. Last 1, up, down, and in. Now, the next time you push out, you have to stay out. Lift and lower that leg 8 times, okay? Push away, hold, lift and lower. I'm not touching my carriage. If you need to, you can rest every time you come down, but if you want to make it more challenging, you're just going up and down for 3, 2, 1, and in. Okay, last thing that we have here, we lift that left leg 1 time, we extend the leg straight out, we lower down to the floor, we lift, again, 8 times. Left forearm down, right foot parallel on that foot bar. Push out once, hold, ready? Lift that left leg, reach it out in front of you. We go down, up, down, up. Adductors, obliques, lower, lift, 3, 2, 1, bend, and come back in. Okay, we're gonna step off to the sides of our boxes. We're gonna flip to the long box. We're gonna give our abs a nice stretch. Stay on your 1 heavy spring, so if you changed it, go back to 1 heavy. We're gonna lie on your stomachs, on your boxes, facing the foot bar. When we lie down, bra lines are going to be at the edge of the box. Hands are gonna go right onto our foot bar. Thumbs are with our fingers, hands are wide. Now, legs are wherever they feel comfortable, together or apart. That is a personal preference, honestly. I like for you to do whatever feels best in your backs. I just don't want them any wider than the width of the box. We're gonna have the elbows open out wide. We push our carriages out. 1 time we hold. Shoulders are down out of our ears. I'm going to, before I lift my chest, I'm gonna push my pubic bone down into the box. So I have active glutes and hamstrings. Now keep that same shape of your pelvis. We're gonna inhale, lift our chest up off the box, and then I'm gonna exhale and press myself back out. Inhale, lift the chest, the arms stay long the entire time. I'm exhaling to lower. I'm still squeezing my glutes and my hamstrings, so when I lift up, I am not coming into my low back. Think lifting right from your rib cage, and then you exhale to lower back down. Inhale, lift, mid-back rib cage, and then we exhale to push ourselves back out. We're gonna go for 2, exhaling as we press, and then last one, inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. Okay, bend your elbows, bring those carriages all the way back in. Up to you. We're gonna move into push-ups. You can either stand a red spring, you can go 1 heavy, 1 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light, or you can go 1 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light, which is what I'm gonna do. So heavy, medium, light, obviously the heaviest setting. Heavy, light would be a little lighter, heavy, medium, a little less than what we're at. Up to you. Again, we're doing push-ups. Change your springs as needed. Hands are gonna go wide, elbows are wide, thumbs are with your fingers. I'm gonna push my pubic bone down. I'm not lifting my chest off the box. I'm just doing a tiny, tiny lift so my face doesn't hit the foot bar. Lengthen through the crown of your head and draw your abs in. We're exhaling to push our carriages out. We're bending wide to come back in. Exhale, press. Wide to come back in. Again, springs are up to you. You can go heavy light, heavy medium, or 1 of each. If you just need to go 1 heavy spring, you can too. Exhale as we push. Inhale, bend wide to come back in. Keep that squeeze of the glutes and the hamstrings. Hollow out your belly. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Push out. Wide to come back in. Let's go for 4. 2, and 1. Now, once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. I'm gonna bring my elbows down to the box. My hands go the box width away from each other this time. We're going into narrow push-ups. I'm gonna push my pubic bone down, squeeze my glutes and my hamstrings, hollow my belly out, lengthen through the crown of my head. Narrow push-ups. Exhale out, elbows should touch the sides of the box. Push, again, elbows touch the sides of the box. Out and in, exhaling as we press out. Inhale, narrow as we come back in. Good. Out and in. Let's go for 5. Think lengthen through the crown of your head. Hollow your bellies out. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then once we come back in, we're gonna pause. 1 heavy spring, you can take everything else off. You're gonna step off to the side of your box, and then we'll put your foot bars back down. Now, last thing we're gonna do here is kind of like a little cool down for our spine, a stretch for our abs. We're gonna do roll downs on our box, facing our straps. Again, 1 heavy spring. I'm gonna sit down facing my straps. Feet are on the headrest, so just make sure that your headrests are down. We're grabbing the straps off the pegs. Now, let's go to your short loops. If you need it a little easier, you can always grab onto the knotted part of your rope, but let's go short loops. Scoot your butts pretty far forward so you have plenty of space behind you on your box. We're sitting up nice and tall on top of our sits bones. Again, this is just like our little cool down for our spine and to stretch out our abs. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, send our tailbone towards our heels. We're gonna roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. When our shoulders hit, our heads can go back. We can take an inhale. If you don't feel comfortable, keep your neck in line with your spine. I'm gonna exhale, gnaw my chin to my chest, scoop into my abdominals, and roll back up. Now again, I said cool down. So if this is too challenging for you to go down and up, if you're straining too much with your core, you can either grip higher onto the straps or you can add on a light spring with that. I'm not straining too much for this with my red spring and my short loops. It's more of like a stretch for my back than a workout for my core. If you feel it way more in your core, add on a spring or grip higher up. We're gonna tuck, roll back. Again, the idea is to go down 1 vertebrae at a time and to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. We're inhaling at the top. We're exhaling to tuck, roll back. I'm squeezing my glutes every time I roll back so that I can really get into the tuck of my pelvis. We're just gonna do a few more. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, tuck, roll. Inhale back. Exhaling as we articulate our spines all the way back up. And then last one, tuck the pelvis, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale back. And then exhale as we nod and we roll back up. Okay, we're gonna take our straps, we're gonna hang them back up onto the pegs. We're stepping ourselves off to the sides. Now, we're gonna walk around to the front of our reformer, right in front of our foot bars. I'm gonna stand this one heavy spring. If your shoulders are an issue, I would suggest going to 1 medium spring instead of a heavy. Hands are gonna go onto the 2 front corners of the box. And then last little spinal stretch. We're gonna push our box out, drop our chest down in between our arms. And then on the next exhale, I'm gonna tuck my pelvis round through my spine to come back in. Again, I'm inhaling to push away, letting my chest drop down in between my arms. And then I'm exhaling to tuck my pelvis around through my spine to come back in. We're gonna do a few more. Heels stay anchored, hips stay back. You can allow the shoulders to come up into the ears. I really want you to think about this very similar to a cat-cow. Inhale, press out. Let your chest drop down again in between those arms. Exhale, round through the spine to come back in. And then this is the last one. We're gonna inhale, press out. Let the chest drop down. And then round to come back in. Okay, now once we come back in to get into our obliques, left hand to the right side, we're gonna push the carriage out. Find length in the left side of the body. And then round to come back in, and we'll just do 1 more there. Press out, find length in that left side. Round to come back in, and then we'll do 2 on the left. Left hand, left hand, left corner, right hand in front of it. Press, lengthen through the right side of the body. Round to come back in, and then last one, find length through that right side of the body when we press out. And round to come back in. Okay, when your carriage comes back in, you can roll your spines all the way back up. We can step off to the sides. You are all done with that core workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today. I always appreciate the support.